welcome back to my channel. This is Smashbrush. So today I'm going to be doing a very highly requested video. Everybody wants to know how to apply fake lashes on themselves, and I know that is like one of the hardest things to do. So I figured this would be a really fun, informative kind of video. And basically I'm going to be doing two kind of lashes. I'm going to be doing a more natural, subtle, at least for me, everyday kind of lash. I know not everybody wears lashes every day, but there are some of you that do. And then on this side, I'm going to be doing something a lot more like dramatic, kind of like what you see through my YouTube videos. They're a lot more thick and more wispies and all of that. So if this is a video that you're interested in, then just keep watching. What else do I have to say? Oh, by the way, happy November 1st. It's so crazy to think that we have just 2 months left of this year. So, oh my God. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's almost Christmas. Almost gotta shop. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's get to it. I'm feeling my eyes right now, guys, and if you haven't checked out, this is actually me using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, which was in my last video that I uploaded Tuesday, and I did this in like 2 minutes, like no lie, like I'm not even exaggerating. Anyways, if you guys see me very like palish looking or something just looks kind of off, it's just because I don't have any eyelashes on. I didn't even put on eyeliner, so I feel like I look overly made up. I feel like my eyes look very like shut down and like tired. But the reason why I did that actually is because I want to show you guys how to apply your lashes without any eyeliner, and then on this side, the more dramatic side, how to apply it with the liner and all that good stuff. So on this side, I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply the Ardell Whispies Lashes. So I have like this 5-pack, because I know sometimes people look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, these are so dramatic. When you compare them to something a little bit more minky and more full, like you see the difference. You're like, oh yeah, these are like totally natural looking. Look at the difference between that lash and then this lash right here. Like you could just tell there is like so much more going on here. Step number 1 when it comes to applying lashes, first thing you have to do, obviously besides take it out the box, is you want to measure and you want to make sure it fits your eyes. How do you know it fits your eyes? Basically, you want to kind of put this over your eyes and then see how much is left over. When you don't have any eyeliner, it's best to end wherever your eyelash ends. If it's exceeding that, that's the part that you need to cut out. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna place it right on top. It doesn't have to be like super accurate like to your eye. It just has to look around, because if it's super obvious that it's out, like you don't have to stress yourself over this part. I'm just gonna put it on top, like, you know, it's not even glued and you could see it. And then if I were to press this down, you see that it basically fits. So you see, it will not stick out. A lot of times, and I'm gonna show you exactly how, like lashes will look like this much longer. You don't want it to be that much longer. It's so obvious. And the point of this eye is to look as natural as possible. So we know that we don't have to cut off the edge. What I will always do is cut off the very front of a lash. The very front of a lash right here, there's always like a very small piece of plastic. Right there, there's like a super small little ledge piece. But basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut off that little piece, because if you don't, it's gonna start like kind of poking at you, and that's what makes the eyes itchy sometimes. Don't mind me, I have a super big ass scissor, but we just need the job done. Okay, step number 2, we want to apply the glue on. When it comes to the glue, I feel like this is one of the most important parts about applying on your fake lashes. By the way, I am using a duo dark glue. Don't mind like all of this diarrhea looking kind of piece to it. It's just with lashes, like with the lash glue, once it dries out, it gets so gunky looking like this. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm applying the lash glue. And you're literally gonna draw wherever like their glue is on, because it looks kind of like a clear coating. And basically you just wanna apply some glue over it. I'm gonna show you an example of what not to do. Right over here, right in this area, right there at the edge, it starts to look a little bubbly, and then eventually it'll start falling. You don't want your lash to get like that. because that just means you're applying too much. Think of it kind of like when you're applying a nail polish on. When it starts getting way too thick, it's not gonna dry on nicely. So even after you think it's dried, it's really not actually dried. Okay, and after this is basically the waiting game part. You can choose to wait, or you can put it right next to an AC, a fan. You can blow on it, but if it's on yourself, and that's actually an option on you, only because when you blow, you're actually letting out little pieces of like spit. So if you're doing lashes on someone else, you don't want to blow on it. It's just unhygienic. I would give this about a minute for it to dry out nicely. You don't want it to like dry to the point where it's not gonna stick to anything. The point of the glue getting tacky is basically for it to be able to stick well, because if it gets wet and you're applying it, it's gonna just like move all over the place and it's not gonna stick well. It's gonna mess up your eyeshadow. Okay, and how do you know that your lash glue is good to go? Basically, when you apply it on, it's one color. Once it starts getting a lot darker, or just like 2 shades darker than what it is, that's when you know you're ready to go. Step number 3 is the actual application part. With this part, I feel like when you don't have on any eyeliner, it's a little bit harder because it's less forgiving. A quick disclaimer, you don't have to apply it the exact way I do it. This is just the way that's easiest for me. It's a little easier to apply it from the front towards, like from front, and then slide it to the back. Only because when you don't have on any eyeliner on, you want it to be precise as possible towards the front, because the front area I feel is like where you really notice any kind of errors. The way you position your head I feel like is really important too. So instead of just like looking straight into a mirror, and I'm going to show you, and going like bah, it's not going to work, because you're going to put it under your lash. Some lashes are going to be over the lash and under, and it gets messy. It's always easier to apply lashes on someone else than it is on yourself, because their eyes are closed. So we want to kind of mimic that eyes closed, but obviously we need to have our eyes open. And you don't want to go like this either, because if you look, this eye squinting, and you're not going to be precise either. So I like to really like tilt my head back, and then have my mirror, instead of like at the same level, at a lower level. And basically what that's gonna do, it makes it look like your eye is closed. The front of the eyelash, you don't want it to be super close to here. Closer and closer you have it towards the very, very inner corner is when it starts poking you and it gets itchy, and that's not cute. So I like to put at least 1 or 2 like centimeters a little bit away from the inner corner. And at this point, it's already kind of tugged in. And then just apply it there. Now, I'm glad this happened, because this is a perfect case of it sometimes not applying on correctly. Over here, if you see, this side is off. And that's totally normal to happen. Some people like to apply it with tweezers. I don't necessarily like to, but I'm gonna show you how to. You can grab the front, but grab it by the hairs and just push it forward. Best way that I like to secure my lashes is basically grabbing any one of my fingers. So let's say we're gonna use this one. Is I just press it in, like going like in that motion, pressing it in towards you. And yeah, you see, these are very natural looking lashes. As you can see, like I feel like it looks like my own lash. Now that we've applied the more natural lash, I'm gonna show you guys how to do the more dramatic lash with some eyeliner on. So I am gonna quickly do my eyeliner, and I'm gonna do a wing and all that fun stuff. The reason why I'm showing you guys with the eyeliner is because when it comes to you already having a wing liner already, it's a little bit more forgiving. So basically you can extend that lash a little bit longer if you'd like. So I'm using these nice fluffy wispy lashes. They're more on the mink side, and basically I already did the same steps where I put it on, measured it, made sure everything is good. So now we're gonna go with the actual application part. Here's a quick trick that I like to show people that use mink lashes. Sometimes the band on these lashes are like super thick, so it's a little harder to like maneuver. Honestly, by going like this kind of makes the band a little bit more flexible, and it allows for you to like kind of adjust it a little bit more towards your eye shape. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the lash glue again. So it's the same exact step. For the inner and outer of these, I do apply just a little bit more, not as much as to where it's dripping, but just a tiny bit more than what I did with the other one, just because they're heavier, so they need a little bit more support. Okay, so lash is now, I believe, officially kind of dried out. Good enough for me to be able to apply it. So I'm gonna be doing the same exact thing I did with this eye. Tilt my head a little bit, put the mirror a little bit lower. Apply it towards the end. And you see how the lash, I don't know if you could tell, but the lash is not glued here. You see, it's still up. So, but my edge is good. Little by little with my finger, I'm pushing it in. And I pushed it in to as close as I could. But this part is actually a little bit more on my skin rather than my lashes. I'll even pull it a little bit. Make sure it's nice and good. Do the same motion of sticking, like, putting pressure towards you to make sure that it is attached to something. And then that is basically it. But you totally see the difference with lashes, right? I hope you do. This is like super, super natural. This is a lot more like, boom, ready for pictures, ready for my shoot kind of lash. What I do like to do with lashes once they're already glued on to like make them pop up a little bit, because sometimes people will apply lashes and they're like, oh my gosh, they look like caps. I feel like I see them and I hate that feeling. So I'm gonna show you how to kind of like avoid that feeling, even though you still kind of feel it, but just not as much as the initial feeling. I grab my thumb and I literally put my thumb underneath the entire lash and just press it towards me. The same way I was going like that, I go like that with my lash. So go like that, press it towards me. This way you're able to see any mistakes you made, lifts up the lashes, and it kind of makes them look curled a little bit. After this, you basically have the option of either putting on mascara on the lashes or not. I personally do not put on any mascara on my lashes. One, because I like to save my lashes, especially these. But yeah, that is basically it. I tried to be as informative as possible. I hope you guys got to enjoy this. I hope you guys got to learn. I actually really like making videos like this because I feel like I am more teaching, even though most tutorials are teaching, but these are like small little things. I know I struggled with this definitely for myself. One big thing that I do want to tell people is that practice makes perfect, not just with lash application, but also with just makeup in general. Anything in life, practice makes perfect. Don't be discouraged if the first time you put on the lashes it doesn't work out. It took me a really, really long time for me to be able to do it on myself. You know, honestly, sometimes my husband would put on my lashes. Shh. But yeah, that is basically it. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you got to learn anything, comment down below on a next video that you would like to see. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It is @Smashbrush_, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.